Hi guys, and welcome back to another server video. So currently we have a competition on the server, so you can actually win a cash prize, or not quite a cash prize, but a gift card for Steam. So it's £20 in English pounds, or in American dollars, $33. So it's not too bad for a first place prize. The closing date for this is the 14th of September. So now about the actual competition itself. What you need to do is you need to come onto the server, which the details will be in the description. When you actually go onto the server, do /warp house. Pretty easy one. You'll then appear at this spot here. And that's really weird. I didn't realise that actually happened. But this will give you this spot right here. Now, one of these I'm going to have just for basically all of the builders and people like that can actually recommend you, or at least get me to look at the plot. Every single builder is going to be able to put signs and things in here, so I'll put separate spaces. And you'll notice that there's another 3 plots. These ones are also owned by me, so the 4 plots at spawn are owned by me. You can have first, second and third. So when I actually do move all of these ones up, I'll actually move them there. Only first prize, unfortunately, actually gets a cash prize, but that's because, well, it's quite expensive. And it would cost me quite a lot if I did lots of them, and I want to get more of these competitions out there. So, how do you actually enter the competition, I guess? So you do /warp house, which will get you to here, as I said before. Then what you do is, if you go onto the server, you do /plotme, and if you do auto, that will automatically find a empty plot, and will own it. So there we go. I've now got this plot right here, and you'll notice that there's spawn over there, so for some reason it's gone diagonal. And with this as well, it's only you that can actually build on the plot, unfortunately. I've done it because it's got an actual cash prize or a gift card prize. I've done it so that you have to basically be the only person. So, for example, you can't do plotme ads, you can't work on it as multiple people, as there's only one gift card I can give out. That's just the way it is. Also, you can only own one plot. So that means that, you know, first, second and third aren't going to be all of the same people. It'll be separate people. So kind of make sure that you make use of your space. These plots themselves are 49 blocks by 49 blocks. So they're kind of reasonably sized. It's big enough to get either a medieval fantasy build in there, or a modern build, or even space, you know, anything. You can basically fit whatever you want. So as the title suggests of this video, and also the competition, it's about a house. This is going to be the main kind of point that you need to make. Make sure that you're going to be building, you know, a nice big house. Something that's got full interior as well, full exterior. Make it look really nice. It doesn't matter if it's medieval, doesn't matter if it's modern. Style won't matter at all. What would be really handy for me is if you guys put, wherever the entrance is, put up a sign. Obviously you don't have to make it out of really bright magenta wool, but these are a really good way so that I know exactly what's going on. And you can say, you know, no, a medieval fantasy elven type house built by blah blah blah. Please use, and then put the texture pack in. That really helps. Also using P time, and that's personal time, and also P weather, which is personal weather. You can also use those settings. Say any recommended settings that you've got. Also the texture pack really does help me when I'm reviewing. That way I can review it in the texture pack that you've built it in, and it makes it a lot more fair for you guys. So make sure that you put up a sign, at least writing that. So, say that you've built a house, and what we'll do is we will very, very quickly build the worst house in existence. There we go, let's grab some wool. So we're going to make a pink house, like this, and it's got a roof on it. And that's pretty much going to be it. Say we've spent, you know, all of 10 seconds on this house here. We've finished it, we're happy with it, we want it to be put into the competition to be reviewed as an actual competition piece. What you would actually do is just go /plotme protect. I know it's a very strange command, but if you do this one, what happens is the outside border of the actual plot will turn green. So it turns to green wool. That means that when I'm flying around, and most of the time I am flying around at speed 10, so I'll be flying around this fast, I can then easily go, oh, that one's green. I'll drop down here, I'll have a look, and I will note it down in basically the admin area to see if it's been checked out. What I'll do here is I'll actually put a notice board of the ones that I've had a look at and the kind of scoring, things like that. I'll also, if you do put them up for review, I'll note them down. If I don't think that they're finished, what I'll do is I'll actually switch it back, and I'll come around and actually switch it back to normal, but I will put notes if I do that. So, what's the kind of main rules, I guess? It can only be you that's building it. 100% has to be you as a designer, so you can't do, for example, a tutorial house. I wouldn't be able to actually give you money for somebody else's work, if that makes sense. Even though you've built it on here, it's still somebody else's work, it's somebody else's design, and giving you a cash prize and not the actual person that made the tutorial in the first place would be unfair. I think you agree with that. But you can, of course, use inspirational kind of things and use ideas, and if you do state those, you know, for example, you might, like my modular design of something, you might be able to actually say, you know, I've used the modular design, but it's not a direct tutorial, instead it's using bits of that and bits of other things and mixing it all in. So it has to be 100% you. You can only add yourself to these plots, so it is just you that can actually build them. And the kind of things that I'm actually looking for when marking these to actually get a winner, well, for one, the exterior is a pretty big part of it, of course. You've got enough room in here to make a good, decent-sized house. I didn't want to make it so that it's huge, so that some people that have more time can make absolutely huge houses. But that is going to be the main thing. The next is interior, and this is actually a lot more important than people actually think. So by this, it needs to make sense. You know, you wouldn't walk in, for example, into a house and just get hit by a swimming pool. At least not unless you're in ancient Rome. But, you know, you need to make it all sense. It all needs to work together. It needs to flow together, no matter what it is, medieval or the modern stuff. You know, all of it, as long as it flows as a natural house, it feels like you are actually inside that house and it all makes sense. You've got everything, the essentials, like your bathroom and kitchen, all those kind of little bits, that would work. Also, make sure that if you did, for example, build a house, and I'm just going to throw down some more wool, well, grass, I guess. So if you had like a house here, for example, and it looked really kind of good, even in this space, if you haven't used the outside space, then you're kind of almost losing your marks, because you could build some really cool gardens, hedges, custom trees, those kind of things that would make a house kind of more suited. Make some gardens for the house, and even, you know, driveways for cars if you're doing a modern type kind of build, or stables, those kind of things. But it is on just one house, so remember that. Don't make, for example, a town, because that wouldn't kind of get marked correctly, because you'd be spreading out all of your kind of resources instead of having it on one really amazing place. So those are the kind of two main pieces that I'm doing. So, well, three main, I guess. So exterior, interior, and then the environment. That's my kind of main criteria and the way that I'm going to be marking these. So come and jump on the server, and remember to do your plotme protect, as that will save me loads of time. The other way you can actually do it is, if you have finished your kind of competition plot, is send me a private message via YouTube. The way that you can do this is by going to my About page on the main channel, and then press send a message, and then just tell me the plot ID, which you can get by doing /plotme info, and that will tell you, as you can see, owner and also the ID. So there we go. Thanks, guys. Hopefully, you know, we should have some really, really nice houses coming up. I look forward to doing loads of videos on them as well. And also, of course, somebody's going to be winning a nice cash prize of $33 or 20 English pounds, depending on where you're from. The closing date, of course, for this is the 14th of September. So, basically, at the 15th of September, you won't be able to build any of these anymore. So that's basically going to just be stopped. It'll just be stopped that you can't build anything else on this world. I'll then review every single plot and then try and get a good mark of it, and I'll see kind of how it is. I'll be asking a lot of the builders and also moderators on the server to help me out. But thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the server.